that, I'd like to turn it over to my brother Neo to see if he'd like to have a word with the divine masculine to give them some strength and encouragement as well. Brother Neo, take it away, bro.
Us divine masculines, we have a grand responsibility that was bestowed onto us from previous past lives. Our aspects embark these responsibilities. The divine masculine aspects of self, because you have to understand we also had divine feminine aspects. I don't give a fuck how hard, how rough and tough, and how street in the hood, and what gang member, what set you represent. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. You got a divine feminine aspect somewhere. And but guess what? That divine feminine aspect ain't nothing to play with either. Just because have a divine feminine aspect, don't mean that you're passive. That doesn't mean shit. That was a construct that was created by the opposition. We all know when it comes to divine feminine, it ain't just softness. It's that discipline as well. It's that pop you upside your head and straighten up and fly right energy as well. But as far as being the divine masculine, the one that's the protector, and to protect, you have to be present. And to provide, you have to also tap into your divine feminine because that's where your creativities and your ideas come from, the heart space. Not always from the head, not always through logic, not always what was just said onto us, what was bestowed onto us by our elders who represent the divine masculine in our bloodline. It's also what's within your heart space. Often with us, also, we have been taught to disconnect from your heart space, disconnect from being that beacon of releasing real emotions, real feelings. Just because you are a man doesn't mean that you're not allowed to feel. You're not allowed to express. You're not allowed to wear colors. You're not allowed to just be. Who the fuck created this narrative that masculinity means dullness? For example, the peacock. The male peacock is more colorful and vibrant and luminescent in colors of its feathers compared to the female peacock, which is more earth tone and regal and rich. There's nothing wrong with men representing aspects of not only protection and providing and being that abundant resource for the family aspect to continue to thrive and survive. Don't you realize the aspects from within? They all represent all different aspects and types of masculinity. From the 21 divisions, for example, with Papa Candelo, and how he represents the heart space. And he's unapologetically open and honest about how he feels. But he does it in such a way where it's direct, it's strong, it's powerful, and he doesn't give a fuck! Because he wants you to know how he feels. Like in Haiti, when it comes to the voodoo, Bawan Samedi, he represents the graves. He digs the graves. He ushers people in and ushers people out. And he also is connected from the heart space. But he understands duality. He understands light and dark. He represents the divine masculine of balance, and unbiasedness. And he also knows how to enjoy life and death in aggregate. Another aspect of divine masculine is also Shango. Shango is the Orisha that ushers in not only strength, but his aspect in particular represents the spark, the excitement, the passion, the drive of the divine masculine. Just to name a few. I want you all to understand something. It's okay for masculines to cry. It is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be honest with yourself, no matter how cringy the honesty is in the details. Nobody should sit there and judge you for what you've experienced that did not belong to you, that you didn't ask for, you didn't deserve. Any projecting asshole out there that want to laugh at your pain, I guarantee it they went through something worse. That's their way to cope. They try to put you down or any other person that's went through some shit down so they could feel empowered. You know what that is? That's the behavior of a demon. That's a behavior of Wetiko. Wetiko is a being that feeds off of other people's misery. That is how they thrive. And if you're not careful, especially with healing yourself when it's just and consistent, you become that thing that latches onto you, that is parasitic. You become that. You become that demon. You become that AI. You become that Wetiko. You become a feeder of other people's misery and pain. It makes you feel full. It makes you feel justified. Everything gotta be a joke. Everything is a joke. Even when a person means it. I guarantee it, the ones that laugh and poke fingers and joke on other men when it comes to being sexually assaulted, for example. I guarantee it, they have also been ones who are victimized of the same fate that you've experienced. But instead of them stepping into your heart space and being a brother, being an uncle, being a father, being a guide, being someone of a heart space of value, and guide you through and let you know, hey, you're not alone. You could heal from this. I too went through this experience. You know, especially when it comes to the other guys, right? It's always fun and funny and shows your machismo or your strength by just making fun of somebody else that went through something you went through your goddamn self. Just remember, continue to work on yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself that time. I guarantee it. The more you revisit that uncomfortable experience, the more you realize through time, as you do a compare and contrast of what you've written down or what you recorded yourself saying, however which way you choose to heal, you'll realize the difference. And also being part of the divine masculine is confronting the person that got you fucked up. And this is not just limited to men, this is women too. You confront that asshole that got you crossed, chopped and screwed like a Bun B track while you sipping on some good old lean and perk. That kind of chopped and screwed. You let that motherfucker know that at the end of the day you hold them accountable regardless of them recalling the situation. No matter how much they try to crawl and scratch and project and try to make you feel like you're crazy or stupid. Understand something, my brother, my sister. They know what the fuck they did. It's always hard. It's a hard pill to swallow to be confronted with that mirror right in front of your face. You hold that motherfucker accountable, as many of examples. You hold that person accountable. I guarantee you, once you do that, you find your strength in time. It's okay to still feel angry, but this is why healing comes in layers, where you have to keep revisiting certain things sometimes. And no, it doesn't mean that you have to continue to talk to that same ass fuck. I'm talking about confronting now your shadow and letting your shadow know, hey, we did it together. We both had an opportunity to speak our truths. Now we could move on, and step by step, we're getting fragments of ourselves back. As a divine masculine, there's nothing wrong with facing the uncomfortable aspects of your pain. Let's kill this narrative of, oh, men, we ain't supposed to hug each other. We ain't supposed to big up on each other. That's sus. End the bullshit now. How are we able to ascend and grow when we can't love on each other? How can't we ascend when we, like, it's nothing wrong to say, hey, I love your kicks, man. Your kicks are nice. Or your hat is fly. Or you doing your fucking thing in your business. Or your suit is tight. There ain't nothing wrong with giving another man love and props where it's due. This is part of what brotherhood is about. It's about being there for one another and also being an aspect of an accountability partner. Because sometimes your brother might slip up. Sometimes your brother might not be present in those moments. Sometimes your brother might have his shadow go out of control. And what do older brothers tend to do with their little brothers sometimes? And sometimes even vice versa. Sometimes you got to shake up your older brother, because your older brother is caught up in his divine man, all in his head about you. You know, the little brothers out there that had to pop your older brother one, and your older brother got shook and surprised that you was able to defend yourself even though you were smaller. Sometimes you got to do that to get your brethren in line. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you got to have a little rough talking to, because, you know, that nice, sweet shit, you know, it doesn't reach. Not all the time. Sometimes you got to give it to people the way it needs to be given for people to receive the message. These are all small examples of what masculinity is about. This is all also parts and aspects of healing. That's a common theme that a lot of men seem to go through, especially when it comes to men being present for themselves and consistent with themselves in their heart space. Because a lot of us have been abused, a lot of us have been teased, a lot of us have been slapped out of our heart space. So much in our younger years, that now we conform ourselves as being someone of a man, and cannot even connect with our counterparts where it counts.